We got ourselves a big primetime matchup tonight between the Chiefs and the Lions on Sunday Night Football. The Lions are coming into Kansas City, the number one scoring offense in the NFL. Jared Goff leading the league in touchdown passes with 12. Half of those have gone to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He leads the league in touchdown catches this season with 6. They've also got the best running back duo in the league in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They both have 300 yards rushing each. They've also got Sam Laporta, who's top 10 in receptions and receiving yards among tight ends. So obviously a lot of reasons as to why they've got the number one scoring offense in the league. However, the Lions are missing a big piece on this offensive line coming into this Sunday night matchup. Taylor Decker, their left tackle, he's been ruled out with an injury. Their backup left tackle, Gio Manu, he was placed on IR yesterday. I don't know the details, but he was limited in practice on Thursday, and he did not practice on Friday. And as the Lions were getting ready to travel to Kansas City, they made the announcement that Manu was placed on IR. So they're going to have Dan Skipper, who they just promoted from the practice squad early in the week. He is expected to start at left tackle for the Lions in this game. He's got 11 starts in the last 3 years for the Lions, 6 of them at left tackle. They're essentially going to have a third string player at left tackle for them in this game. And when you consider how hot Detroit's offense is, I mean, they've got playmakers across the board. Running back, tight end, wide receivers. I mean, they are stacked with great players. And the best way to slow them down, or at least limit them in this game, would be taking advantage of the left side of that offensive line. You never want to see injuries in this sport, but unfortunately, injuries are part of sports in a very unforgiving way, and if you don't capitalize on it, someone else will. So, Steve Spagnuolo is going to capitalize on that and try to take advantage of that left side of Detroit's offensive line. I know Kansas City's defensive line coming off a bad game. They haven't really done a good job with that 4-man rush this season. Rookie Omar Norman-Lott, I feel like he's been doing well this season. I know he's missed a couple of games, but when he's out there, that defensive line is getting a really good push there, and he's going to be back for this game. I know he didn't play on Monday Night Football last week, so I think having him back will help, and not having Taylor Decker there, that can benefit Kansas City in this game. On the defensive side, you obviously have to start with Aiden Hutchinson, arguably one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. I think Pro Football Focus ranked him the number one edge rusher coming into this game. But the one big glaring hole on Detroit's team right now is on the defensive side at the cornerback position. They've got their 2 starting cornerbacks, Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed. They will not play in this game due to injuries. Terrion Arnold has been ruled out, and DJ Reed was placed on IR earlier in the week. And the fact that they're not going to have their 2 starting cornerbacks for this game, that is massive, especially for a Chiefs team. Offensively speaking, they're starting to pick it up. Xavier Worthy being back the last 2 games has made a big difference for Kansas City's offense. Tyquan Thornton, he's grown a lot this season, and he's been able to show off his speed in a scheme that better suits him in Andy Reid's offense, and having Patrick Mahomes at quarterback certainly helps as well. Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, those guys have been getting involved a lot this season. I think a big part of it is because they don't have Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, or they didn't have Worthy for a couple of games this season. Travis Kelce, he had the lowest yard per catch average last season, 8.5 yards per reception, the lowest of his career by far. He's doing better this year, having over 11 yards per catch at the moment. So he's getting more involved this year than he was last year so far. I just feel like Kansas City's offense, especially with those 2 guys out, Arnold and Reed, that is going to benefit Kansas City. And again, to go back to Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, he's got to have the best game of his life to prevent Kansas City from being able to take advantage of those holes at the quarterback position. And he's going to be going up against Josh Simmons, Kansas City's left tackle, who's having a phenomenal rookie season so far. But this is going to be the rookie's biggest test of the season, going up against arguably the best edge rusher in the league right now. So for Kansas City, if Josh Simmons can do well against Aiden Hutchinson, I think Xavier Worthy and Tyquan Thornton, given the speed that they have, the way that they can take the top off of defense, use that vertical game to Kansas City's advantage here with those 2 guys out, Reed and Arnold, that's going to be a big difference maker in this game. I think both teams are going to score a lot of points here. But when you look at availability, and listen, I've always said injuries are never an excuse. Kansas City was missing a lot of players on the offensive side last year, and they still found a way to win 15 games last year. A lot of them were close, down to the wire games, but they still found a way to win them. A couple of years ago, you had the Browns. They used a fourth-string quarterback in Joe Flacco, who they just traded away. He came literally off the couch and helped them get to the playoffs. That same year, the Bengals with the backup quarterback almost made it to the playoffs. So listen, injuries, they're unfortunate. You never want to see that. Obviously, it can have an impact, but never an excuse. Teams always find a way. It's always next man up. But if you're Kansas City, you still have to capitalize on these things. Every NFL team has to do that. And when you look at the Chiefs right now, the only player the Chiefs do not have available to them is Rashee Rice. And that is because of a suspension, not an injury. And this is going to be his the last game that he's going to miss out on, as he's going to come back officially on Monday and start practicing Wednesday for the first time this season. But Kansas City does not have anyone injured. If you look at the injury report, no one on Kansas City's injury report has a game designation, meaning they're all available for this game. Meanwhile, Detroit, I mean, they've got a long list of players injured, either out or questionable for Sunday's game here. So Kansas City has to use that to their advantage. Those three players they're missing, the left tackle, Taylor Decker, and also the backup Manu, they're going to be down to a third stringer. And the cornerbacks, Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed, those three guys being out for the Lions might be a big difference maker. So if you're Kansas City, you can't apologize for them having those players absent. You have to take advantage of those absences. And I think you will see Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy do that in this game. I think they'll be able to put up some points. I think both teams are going to put up points, but I think Kansas City is going to capitalize on that, and that could be the big difference maker. Those two speedy wide receivers going up against some backup cornerbacks in this game, definitely going to need that safety help in this one, but I don't think that's going to be enough to stop that speed that Kansas City possesses on offense. No excuses here for Kansas City. You got to find a way to get to 500, and you've got an opportunity here to do that, especially with some of the glaring holes at the cornerback position for the Lions.